Hey everybody, this is my aftermath of my recording video. Um, just some of the strengths and weaknesses that I feel that my video recording of the lesson had include I really try to connect with the student when it comes to bringing the knowledge into an applied example that they can easily relate to. So when I chose to do the Jordan example where they are learning to apply um, the percentage and with the use of the ratios and the proportions and setting up the problem. That's very important for me to let them see how it's applied in real life, because if they're attracted to the shoe, then obviously they're going to have a higher possibility of engaging with the content and paying higher attention and actually making the effort in learning the processes behind proportion or percentages. So I really thought that the use of the examples and the guided questioning, I don't like to really give out answers. I like to have them answer for me. So I do a lot of what you do to one side, you do to the, and I let them finish the answer so they know that it's always expected. Or I'll always question them and have them guide me through the process of calculating or finding the solution to an equation. Some of the weaknesses in my video, obviously, I did have the technical difficulty where I wasn't able to provide my PowerPoint presentation that I had prepared because the whiteboard or the smartboard would not sync. So I mean, we did what we could, and we were on our toes. So it's always having that flexibility to expect the unexpected and just go with it and just wing it. So it's kind of a weakness, but I think it also is a strength because it put me on my toes on the moment, and I had no choice but just to do the lesson with whatever I had already. Another thing is the interaction part for the students. I only had one opportunity for them to work in groups of two. And that's, again, I think the teacher uh, has them in a grid-like, in a grid-like row and column seating chart, very one directional, just because this class can become rowdy, and so it's more of a classroom management strategy, but it doesn't promote the interaction or the cooperative learning, the possibilities that can it do. So again, building on the examples, the constructivist approach, I think, is where you build from previous knowledge. So you grasp them with an example, or you hook them with an example that they can relate to because they know about it, so they have that knowledge, and you little by little apply the different concepts, so they're building on top of what they already know. And so that's something that I think was pretty good, keeping them actively engaged. So I do a lot of, I try not to be monotonous when I'm speaking, or I'll try to question them. So just to keep an active engagement. So when I do like cross multiplication, there's a part of the video where you can see that I'm like cross multiplication. And then also some of the things that we can work on is just, allowing for more technology use within a math class. Unfortunately, there's the issue of funding, and accessibility is not where we want to be. There's obviously a lack of funds, which only limit to maybe one computer or one smartboard per class. But what if we had maybe the use of iPads in a classroom where we can have cooperative learning in a way that technology can be applied? So we can have groups working on specific platforms of technological platforms that allow for math instruction to be facilitated online. So all of that is very important. I think at the end, my biggest critique that my teacher told me is that at the end, when they're doing their written exit slip, the I scaffolded a little bit too much. When I was asking them how they learned it, how they would apply it, I gave them examples that I maybe should have not given them, because they could have easily derive to those examples by themselves. And so I just have to watch that I don't give them too much for them not to mm, provide a higher level of thinking on their own. So, um, just trusting that the kids are capable of doing it with the smallest amount of scaffolding available. I think that's when the learning is related to that. So the more we scaffold, the learning decreases, the capability or the potential learning decreases. The least we scaffold, and it has to be a balance. The least scaffolding will allow a larger potential of learning. So I just have to, that's when my main thing is just to not feel like because these kids are in an intervention class that they can't handle it. Just allow them to reach for their ultimate potential with that. But overall, it was a good lesson. The kids were great. This class was awesome, and I'm really grateful for the experience and for, I got up there and I taught for a full period, and I really enjoyed it. It felt natural. The kids really digged it. And so I'm looking forward to this. Thank you.